When someone starts pulling away from you, it stings. It feels personal, like you're being rejected. But here's the reality. Not every distance is a reflection of your worth. Sometimes it's about their battles, their struggles, their own inability to show up. And sometimes it's about the boundaries you've set or the growth you've achieved. Either way, this isn't the time to crumble. It's your chance to rise. When someone starts pulling away from you, it stings. It feels personal, like you're being rejected. But here's the reality. Not every distance is a reflection of your worth. Sometimes it's about their battles, their struggles, their own inability to show up. And sometimes it's about the boundaries you've set or the growth you've achieved. Either way, this isn't the time to crumble. It's your chance to rise. This moment isn't about fixing someone else or chasing after them. It's about reclaiming your strength, learning to focus on yourself, and turning distance into an opportunity for growth. Today, let me walk you through the powerful steps to protect your peace, rediscover your value, and attract the right connections into your life. Because you are more than enough. Now, let's prove it. When someone starts to pull away, the urge to chase them can feel almost irresistible. It's natural to want answers, to fix what feels broken, and to close the growing gap. But here's the hard truth. Chasing after someone who's distancing themselves doesn't bring them closer. It pushes them further away. It's not just about their reaction. It's about what chasing does to you. It chips away at your self-worth, makes you feel smaller, and turns your energy inward in the worst way. You don't need to beg for space in someone's life. You don't need to prove your value to someone who can't see it. Real connections, the ones that truly matter, are never one-sided pursuits. They're mutual, voluntary, and balanced. By chasing, you're not only exhausting yourself, but also unintentionally reinforcing the very distance you're trying to close. Take a moment to breathe. Reflect on this. If someone's pulling away, it's for a reason. Maybe it's something they're struggling with, or perhaps their priorities no longer align with the relationship. Whatever the cause, their actions are their choice. And their choice is not your burden to bear. Letting someone have the space they're asking for isn't weakness. It's a declaration of your strength. It says, I respect myself enough to let go when someone is showing me they don't want to stay. This isn't about giving up on people. It's about giving yourself permission to stop holding on to those who've already let go. The right people will never make you chase them. They will meet you halfway, willingly and with respect. If someone needs distance, let them take it. And if they don't return, that's their decision, not a reflection of your value. Remember, there's a gift in letting go of what's walking away. It creates room in your life for those who truly value your presence, for the relationships that uplift and energize you instead of leaving you feeling drained. Each moment you spend chasing is a moment you're not investing in your own peace, growth, and happiness. So, stand still. Trust that your worth is not up for negotiation, and know that you deserve relationships built on mutual respect and effort. When you stop chasing, you're not losing anything. You're simply making space for something better. Let them go and let yourself rise, because no one who truly values you will ever need to be convinced to stay. When someone starts to distance themselves, your mind often becomes a battlefield. You replay conversations, dissect every word, and obsessively wonder what you did wrong. It's like getting caught in an endless loop of what ifs and if onlys. But here's the truth. Overthinking doesn't lead to clarity. It traps you in confusion. The harder you try to find answers in the chaos, the further you drift from the peace you need. Instead of chasing clarity through endless analysis, take a step back. Shift the focus away from them and bring it back to yourself. Not to blame, but to understand. Ask the questions that matter. Is this a pattern in your life? Are you drawn to people who give less than they take? Have you ignored warning signs because you wanted the relationship to work so badly? These are tough questions, but they're also the ones that set you free. Often we cling to people not because they're good for us, but because we're afraid of what life might look like without them. We hold on to the hope of what it could be instead of accepting what it is. But stepping back gives you the space to see the situation as it truly is. Not through the lens of fear or longing, but with clarity and strength. Taking a step back doesn't mean shutting people out or giving up on love. It's about prioritizing your energy, protecting your well-being, and creating room to heal. In this space, you'll begin to see patterns that may have been invisible before. You'll recognize moments when you gave more than you received, and times when you tolerated behaviors that chipped away at your self-respect. And here's where the magic happens. As you step back, you start to regain your balance. You remember that your worth isn't tied to how someone else treats you. It's in your kindness, your strength, and the love you give freely, not just to others, but to yourself. This step isn't easy. It requires discipline and self-awareness. But as you pull your energy inward, you'll discover that the peace you've been chasing externally has been within you all along. Taking a step back isn't about retreating from life, it's about stepping into your power. So pause, breathe. Let the space between you and them be a place of reflection, growth, and rediscovery. Because when you stop overthinking and start focusing on your own journey, you'll find that the answers you've been seeking have been waiting for you all along. When someone ignores you or creates distance, it's easy to feel the sting of rejection. You might start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Or am I not good enough? These thoughts are natural, but they're also deceptive. Most of the time, their actions aren't about you, they're about them. Their struggles, their limitations, and their choices reflect where they are in their journey, not your worth. Imagine this. People carry invisible weights, burdens you may never see. Maybe they're overwhelmed by life, battling inner fears, or trying to navigate challenges they can't even articulate. Their decision to pull away is a reflection of their capacity, not your value. Understanding this shifts your perspective from self-doubt to self-compassion. When you take things personally, you hand over your power to someone else's actions. You let their choices shape how you see yourself. But here's the truth. You are enough just as you are. You don't need someone's approval or presence to validate your worth. The fact that they're stepping back doesn't diminish you. It's a decision rooted in their world, not yours. Instead of internalizing their actions, practice grounding yourself in your truth. Remind yourself of your strengths, your kindness, and the love you bring to the table. Surround yourself with people who see and value you for who you are. People who choose you without hesitation. Not everyone is meant to stay in your life forever, and that's okay. Some people are there to teach you, while others are simply passing through. When you feel the sting of their absence, pause and reframe your thoughts. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me? And ask, what might they be dealing with? This small shift in perspective changes everything. It frees you from the cycle of self-doubt and allows you to approach the situation with empathy, both for them and for yourself. Taking things personally keeps you stuck in a loop of insecurity and pain. But choosing not to take it personally, that sets you free. It reminds you that their behavior doesn't define you. Your response does. So let go of the weight of their actions. Stand firm in your worth and trust that the right people will never make you question your value. Not everyone will stay, but the ones who matter will. And when you let go of taking things personally, you reclaim your peace, your dignity, and your power. You are whole, with or without them. Keep moving forward. You've got this. When someone starts to pull away, it's not just about what they're doing. It's also about how you respond. Do you find yourself excusing behavior you'd never tolerate from anyone else? Are you sacrificing your peace to keep the connection alive? This is the perfect moment to pause, reflect, and set boundaries. Because boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about safeguarding the energy and respect you deserve. Think of boundaries as the guidelines for how you want to be treated. They're not acts of selfishness, they're acts of self-respect. When someone is inconsistent, only reaches out when it's convenient for them, or treats you like an afterthought, it's time to ask yourself, why am I allowing this? Relationships should be reciprocal, built on mutual care and effort. If you're constantly giving more than you're receiving, something has to change. Setting boundaries can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to prioritizing others over yourself. But discomfort is temporary, while the peace and clarity you gain are lasting. By drawing a line, you're not punishing anyone. You're teaching them how to treat you and teaching yourself what you're willing to accept. Here's the truth. The right people will respect your boundaries because they value you. They'll appreciate your strength and the standards you set. The wrong people, however, might push back, resist, or even walk away. And while that can be painful, it's also revealing. It shows you who truly belongs in your life and who doesn't. Boundaries aren't about controlling others. They're about empowering yourself. They create space for the right people to step in. Those who see your worth, respect your time, and contribute to your happiness. Without boundaries, you risk losing yourself in the process of holding on to others. When you establish boundaries, you're making a bold statement. I deserve to be treated with kindness, effort, and respect. You're telling the world and yourself that you won't settle for less than you deserve. And if someone can't meet you at that level, their distance is not a loss, but a blessing in disguise. So stand firm. Define your limits with clarity and confidence. Protect your energy as if it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. Boundaries don't isolate you. They elevate you. They ensure that the people who remain in your life are the ones who truly belong there. And those who don't, let them go, knowing that your worth is non-negotiable. Communication is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. But when someone is pulling away, it's important to tread carefully. Your first instinct might be to reach out repeatedly, to explain, to demand answers. But here's the hard truth. No amount of words will change the mind of someone who has already decided to walk away. That's why communicating once, and only once, is key to preserving both your dignity and your energy. When someone creates distance, it's okay to ask for clarity. A simple, heartfelt question like, I've noticed some space between us. Is everything okay? Can open the door for an honest conversation. But once you've asked, step back. Don't push. Don't beg. Don't try to force a response. If they care about the relationship, they'll meet you halfway. If they don't, their silence or dismissive attitude will tell you all you need to know. Here's where many people go wrong. They mistake more effort for better results. They think if they explain themselves more clearly or keep reaching out, they can fix the situation. But the truth is, communication is a two-way street. If the other person isn't willing to engage, your efforts won't change the outcome. And chasing after someone who isn't responsive only drains your energy and undermines your self-worth. By communicating once, you're not giving up on the relationship. You're setting a boundary. You're saying, I care enough to ask, but I respect myself enough not to beg. This isn't about closing the door, it's about leaving it open just wide enough for someone to walk through if they choose to. And if they don't, that's your answer, as painful as it might be. Remember, silence speaks volumes. If someone ignores your attempt to connect, it's not a reflection of your value, it's a reflection of their priorities. And as hard as it is to accept, you deserve better than one-sided effort. Take this moment to reclaim your power. By communicating once and letting go, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of chasing validation. You shift the focus from their response to your own peace. The people who truly value you will always find a way to meet you where you are. And those who don't, they're clearing space for the relationships you truly deserve. So speak your truth once Then, let go. Let their actions or inaction guide your next steps, knowing that you've done your part. Communication is a bridge, but it only works when both sides are willing to build it. Trust yourself to walk away if the other side won't meet you there. You deserve nothing less than mutual respect and effort. When someone distances themselves, it's natural to feel the void they leave behind, a space where connection, laughter, and closeness once lived. That emptiness can be overwhelming, tempting you to fill it with sadness, regret, or endless self-questioning. But here's the truth. This void isn't your enemy. It's an opportunity. It's a blank canvas waiting for you to create something new, something better, something extraordinary. This is your moment to invest in yourself. Think about it. How many times have you put your dreams on hold, neglected your passions, or delayed your goals because you were too focused on someone else? Now is the time to flip the script. Reclaim your energy, channel it inward, and use this space to rediscover who you are and what you're capable of. Start small. Pick up that book you've been meaning to read. Go for a walk, not just to clear your head, but to reconnect with your body and soul. Dust off an old hobby or dive into something entirely new. Every step you take toward your own growth is a step away from the pain of their absence. Remember, your worth was never tied to someone else's presence. It's not defined by their attention or their approval. Your value comes from within, from your resilience, your kindness, and your ability to keep moving forward no matter what. When you pour your energy into becoming the best version of yourself, you begin to see life differently. That void they left, it starts to feel less like a loss and more like a doorway, a gateway to a stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled you. But growth isn't just about activities or achievements. It's about mindset. It's about embracing the lessons that come with loss and using them as stepping stones. Maybe their distance taught you what you truly need in a relationship. Maybe it revealed areas where you've been holding back. Use these lessons as fuel, not as reasons to dwell in the past. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who celebrate your growth, and push you to be better. Lean into the relationships that have always been there, the ones that nurture and support you. These connections are your foundation, your reminder that you are never truly alone. Focusing on your growth doesn't mean you won't feel the sting of their absence. It means you won't let it define you. Instead of dwelling on what you've lost, focus on what you can gain. Turn this chapter into a story of resilience and transformation. Because when you invest in yourself, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And nothing is more powerful than a person committed to their own growth. Letting go is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's also one of the most liberating. When someone leaves your life, the instinct is to hold on, to resist the change, and to cling to what was. But here's the truth. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some people are chapters, not the whole story. And their departure doesn't diminish you. It creates space for something greater. Letting go with grace means releasing someone without anger, resentment, or bitterness. It's not about forgetting them or pretending the connection didn't matter. It's about acknowledging the role they played in your life and accepting that their part in your journey has come to an end. It's about gratitude for the lessons learned and the moments shared, even if they didn't last as long as you hoped. When you hold on to someone who's already let go, you're not saving the relationship. You're trapping yourself in a cycle of pain. Their absence doesn't define your worth, and their departure doesn't mean you failed. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a powerful act of self-love. It says, I value my peace more than I fear this change. Graceful letting go doesn't mean you won't feel the sting of their absence. It means you choose to carry those feelings lightly, allowing them to teach and transform you rather than weigh you down. It's about turning the pain of their departure into fuel for your growth. Here's the beauty of letting go. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. It clears the way for people who see your worth, who cherish your presence, and who bring balance and joy into your life. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect and effort, not ones where you're constantly fighting to be seen or valued. Letting go with grace also sets an example for others. It shows them what it means to face loss with dignity and strength. It shows them that you can release someone without losing yourself in the process. Most importantly, it reminds you that your worth isn't tied to who stays or who goes. It's tied to how you choose to move forward. So let go, not with anger, but with love for yourself and gratitude for the journey. Trust that this ending is making space for a new beginning, one filled with the peace, joy, and connections you truly deserve. You are stronger than you think, and the best is yet to come. Let go and let yourself rise. When someone distances themselves or chooses to leave your life, it's easy to feel hurt, rejected, or lost. But remember this, their actions are not a reflection of your value. They're a reflection of their own journey, struggles, and choices. You are more than someone's decision to stay or go. You are worthy, resilient, and whole. The steps you've taken, choosing not to chase, stepping back, setting boundaries, and focusing on your growth, are not just about navigating their absence. They're about reclaiming your power, finding your peace, and becoming the best version of yourself. Letting go with grace is the final act of love you give to yourself, a decision to release what no longer serves you and make room for what's meant to be. Your worth isn't tied to who stays in your life. It's defined by how you choose to live it. Trust that the right people will come into your life willingly and stay because they see your true value. Stand tall, keep growing, and embrace the journey ahead. The best is yet to come, and it all starts with honoring the incredible person you already are.